So this is lesson 2 of the practice of the presence of God, the best rule for a holy life, conversations and letters of Brother Lawrence, the old monk that lived 300 or 400 years ago. Anyway, one thing that I was reading in his first conversation was something that actually pertains very much to today. Apparently, remember, he had been in the war and he had seen some really terrible stuff happen back then. And today, of course, there are tons of rumors of war. And if I look at the newspaper or read the news, watch the internet too much, I get very depressed, very anxious. And unfortunately, a lot of it's not even real. And also, we have to remember that God only gives us what we can handle. So what I see other people doing or going through, it might seem impossible to me to go through. Yes, it probably is impossible for me. And that's why I'm not going through it. And I might be going through other things that some people might say would be impossible for them. So we all have what we can handle, and that's in the Bible. He only gives us as much as we can handle, and his strength and his grace is enough for us to go through anything. So going back to the news and the rumors of war and everything that, is bad happening in the world, it was also happening back in Brother Lawrence's time. And he actually writes that he was surprised that there wasn't more, considering the malice that sinners are capable of. He prayed for them, but knowing that God could remedy the mischiefs they made when God pleased, he gave himself no further trouble. So what did he do to deal with all the anxiety and all the scary news out there? He prayed about it. He gave it to God because he knows God can fix it whenever he wants. And then he quit thinking about it. He gave himself no further trouble. He stopped worrying. What's the sense to worry? And it says that to arrive at such resignation as God requires, we should watch attentively over all the passions which mingle as well in spiritual things, that God would give light considering those passions to those who truly desire to serve him. So if we truly desire to serve God, God is going to give us understanding. He's going to give us wisdom. And he's going to give us peace. And we have to stick through it. Since I made 2 YouTube videos on this, I've been attacked by anxiety and the devil, and good friends of mine have had bad things happen and called me up with their sad news, and they're doing fine now. But it seems like since I started talking about God's love and talking about loving God, the anxiety has just kicked in even harder. And that's when I know, okay, let's hang on here. Let's stick this out. Let's go through this. Let's not quit. Let's not give up. See, when we give up because of fear, when something gets really scary or anxious or nerves or depression kicks in, and we back off or we drink alcohol or find medicine, drugs, whatever, or do things that we normally know isn't correct to do, the devil backs off because, see, he knows that we're not doing what God has planned for us, and we're not going on further in our walk. We're not getting ahead. So he backs off, and he's like, "Oh yeah, feel good now because you're not doing the right thing anymore." It's kind of a weird thing, but when we start going forward in God and we start saying, "No, I know, I have faith, even if I can't see it all the time, that things are going to be good. All things work together for good to them that love God, who are called according to his purpose." See, when God calls you, maybe you don't know what you're supposed to do, but what's his calling? His calling is when you know God's there. Some people say God comes to them. Some people go looking for God and find him. But it doesn't matter. You've been called. When you know God's there, you've been called. So guess what? That means you're loved. And that means that all things work together for good. And I think that's where I'm going to stop today, because this is a lot to think about.